Good morning. Welcome. My name is Travis Madison. This is a little show I've cooked up about the U.S. housing market. I call it ChatGPT and the U.S. housing market. And here's what we're going to do today is I'm going to highlight some articles that I found, and I'm going to talk a little bit about them, and then we're going to see what ChatGPT has to say, including writing some jokes. And just a fair warning, some of these jokes are going to sting this morning. So here we go. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's do the big view here, everybody. This is Fortune magazine says, I can't afford to sell because I don't want to lose that rate. 3% mortgage rates will loom large over the U.S. housing market for years to come. It's true, right? I'm locked in. I'm actually below 3%. So for me, it's like if I sell my home and I want to move up into something bigger and nicer, my payment's going to go up. Or even if I want to stay in the same like price point, my payment's going to go up massively. Even with a lot of equity and I put a good down payment, my monthly mortgage will go up. So here's what they talk about is they talk about when rates hit 7.1%, which was in March. They're down a little bit from there, but not much. But it's kind of funny. They call it the lock-in effect. And apparently it's a marketing term that applies to lots of other areas like subscriptions and other things. They say, hey, we've got them locked in because they can't move, or contracts or whatever. So it's the same kind of thing here. Same idea. Record low homeowner vacancy rates have essentially depleted housing inventory and materially tightened supply. So that's what's happening. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, we're out of inventory. We need to build. We didn't build. Well, that's part of it. But also, when rates were so low for really so long, people locked in, and they're literally locked in. So to pry that inventory loose is going to be a challenge. So this is an interesting article, and it's probably one of the leading causes, in my humble opinion, as to why we have low inventory in the U.S. currently. So I want to ask ChatGPT. This is a brand new chat. Never used this before. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. I'm going to tell it some questions. I'm going to tell it we're live streaming right now. We are live streaming right now. Is that okay with you? Oh, I forgot. I've got web access turned on, which is a ChatGPT extension. It's kind of interesting, worth checking out for many of you. It's a Chrome extension that you can get, and it allows it to search from the internet. So it cited some sources. Kind of funny. Here's what ChatGPT has to say: is an AI language model. I do not have personal preferences or emotions. However, I can provide information regarding live streaming on YouTube based on the search results you provided. So we're going to turn off those search results now. I'm going to ask if I live stream your responses. Let's see what it says. As an AI language model, I do not have emotions or personal preference, so it is not possible for me to be okay or not okay with being live streamed. Okay. However, please note that the responses I provide are publicly accessible on this platform and can be shared or used in any manner in accordance with the terms and conditions of the platform. I think that means that if I'm doing something illegal, they'll turn me in for it. I'm not sure. I really don't know, but I'm guessing that's what the terms and conditions of the platform include. Okay, so let's check this out. Based on the current, or actually, let's ask it, what is going on in the U.S. housing market? Let's see what it has to say. As of my knowledge, cutoff date of September 2021. So that's part of it. U.S. housing market surge in demand and shortage of supply leading to rapidly rising home prices. That's not wrong. In 2021, that's really what's going on. The trend has been fueled by low mortgage rates, a shortage of existing homes for sale, and an increase in demand for larger homes due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah. However, there are also concerns of affordability, yes, as the rising home prices are putting home ownership out of reach for many Americans, yes. Additionally, the pandemic has led to an increase in delinquencies and foreclosures. No, ChatGPT, particularly among lower income households. That's actually not true. We're actually seeing record low foreclosures and delinquencies still. And in our area, I get the monthly pre-foreclosures numbers. They went up a little bit over last summer, but they're way back down again. And that's just because people have equity. If they're in trouble, they're going to sell their home. So that's what you're getting. You're getting homes on the market that people are in trouble, or they definitely have to relocate, or there's a change in life circumstances like a death, or maybe the family's increased in size too, or maybe they're millennials. Let's ask ChatGPT this question: what generation is buying the most homes in the U.S.? It's going to give us information as of 2021. By the way, if you're watching, if you're watching, I'd love to know where you're watching from. Something went wrong. Oh no, did ChatGPT figured me out? I'm gonna let's re-log in back here. Let's do this. Okay, so we can go back to our chat, and then let's say, what generation is buying the most homes in the U.S.? According to a report by NAR in March 2021, the generation that's currently buying the most homes in the U.S. are millennials. That's true. It really is. They're up to 37%. Actually, I just read an article on NAR this morning that said they're at 43%. So it continues to go up just because of age and the size of the millennials. Don't underestimate the size of the millennials. Okay, so I'm going to ask it some questions based on you read this. I don't read that. Boom. It discusses how 3% mortgage rates will continue to impact the U.S. housing market for years to come. So this is ChatGPT commenting on this Fortune article, which I found, which is really interesting. It's from March, but this is, I think, a huge topic. I think this is really what's kind of keeping our inventory low right now. Can't afford to sell because I don't want to lose that rate. They're locked in. So I asked ChatGPT to read the article. Yes, I can read the article. It discussed how 3% mortgage rates will continue to impact the U.S. housing market for years to come. Homeowners who have locked in lower mortgage rates are choosing not to sell, which has caused a shortage in available inventory, making it harder for both buyers and sellers. Absolutely. Even the current pipeline of new homes under construction being historically large, the supply of homes would still be below historic averages. The article also cites the impact on existing home sales and have been in decline for 12 straight months and a fall in new listings. The article includes quotes from homeowners who have locked in low mortgage rates and are choosing not to sell as a default. Finally, concludes that the so-called lock-in effect may constrain the U.S. housing market. It may not be enough to prevent a home price correction, with Goldman Sachs predicting a 6.1% fall in national house prices in 2023. Goldman Sachs could be right, but it's the end of April, and we're still seeing prices move up. I was just looking at Realtor.com has data, and in our area, our prices still moved up 6%. Now, the days on market is longer, depending on your zip code, but the median house price is still moving up, which is really frustrating and really bad news for affordability. Okay, here's where it gets kind of wild. Let's ask ChatGPT to write some jokes based on this article. Can you write some jokes based on this article? Oh, there you go. AI language. I do not create jokes on sensitive topics such as the housing market and financial instability. It is important to maintain sensitivity and respect for those. Okay, so I will ask it, can you write jokes on the following title? I'll just give it the title. See what ChatGPT says now. It's interesting because in my other account, I got a different response. Sure, here are some jokes based on the title. Here we go. 3% mortgage rates are like Bigfoot. Everyone talks about them, but no one has actually seen one. That's funny, but not really accurate, ChatGPT. Here's number 2. I heard that if you say 3% mortgage rates 3 times in front of a mirror, a banker will appear and offer you a loan you can't afford. That one's actually pretty good. That one's not bad. I'm not going to lie. What about 3% mortgage rates are like unicorns, magical and mythical, but not really useful in the real world? ChatGPT, that's so wrong. They're totally usable. All right. I'm starting to think that 3% mortgage rates are just a conspiracy theory, like the moon landing or the existence of the Loch Ness Monster. That's funny, actually. All right, here we go. There's the last one. 3% mortgage rates are so rare that they should be put in a museum right next to the dodo bird and the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know if that one's very funny. I'm going to ask them to write more jokes in the style of The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Let's go to that era even. See what it says. Sure, here are some jokes in the style of The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. In other news, mortgage rates are so low that even dogs are buying houses. That's right, folks. Even the infamous Dogecoin is getting in on the action. It's a great time to be a dog in the housing market. What the heck? Okay. All right, here's number 2. It's like the old saying goes, if you can't afford a house, just wait a couple of years until the mortgage rates go up. Then you'll be able to afford it with all the money you saved from not buying avocado toast. What the heck? These are so bad. All right, number 3. The housing market is so hot right now that even the houses are flipping people. That's right, folks. If you're not careful, you could end up being the one living in the mortgage. What the heck? That's some kind of surreal Andy Kaufman style joke. Experts are predicting that the 3% mortgage rates will loom large over the U.S. housing market for years to come. So if you're planning on buying a house, make sure to pack some binoculars so you can see it from afar. That's kind of funny. Number 5, in related news, the government has announced a new program to help people afford homes in the current market. It's called Just Marry Rich, and it involves finding a wealthy spouse to help foot the bill. That one's actually kind of funny. That one's funny. All right, can you write more jokes on this topic, but cite interest rates at 7%? Sure, here are some jokes. Looks like 3% mortgage rates are out and 7% rates are in. So if you thought buying a house was expensive before, get ready to take out a second mortgage on your second mortgage. That's kind of funny. I mean, it's kind of funny. With the interest rates of 7%, the only people buying homes will be those with a name like Rockefeller or Gates. The rest of us will be living in cardboard boxes outside their mansions. That's not funny. That's dark, ChatGPT. The rest of us will be living in cardboard boxes outside their mansions. Wow. All right. Well, that's an interesting one. The good news is that, here's the next one. The good news is that with 7% interest rates, you won't have to worry about paying off your mortgage until you're retired. The bad news is you'll probably have to work until you're 107 to afford it. Ouch. Again, not funny, ChatGPT. That stings. Sorry, everybody out there. Number 4, the housing market is like a game of musical chairs. And with 7% interest rates, the music has stopped and there are only a few chairs left. Good luck finding one that isn't already occupied by a hedge fund manager. Ouch. That really hurts. That's funny, though, because it's true. Oh, hedge funds and BlackRock and large corporations buying up homes is a real problem. And ChatGPT is clued in. All right, here's the last one. You'll know things are bad when 7% interest rates start to look like a good deal. At this rate, we'll all be living in caves by next year. I wonder if that was a George Bush era joke. That's pretty funny. Now I'm going to ask ChatGPT to aim the jokes at millennials. Can you write more jokes in this style, but aim them at millennials? Sorry, millennials. Here we go. Here's what ChatGPT has to say. I know nobody's watching this live, but maybe we'll rewatch it. If it's good, let me know. If it's bad, also let me know. I don't want to do this a whole bunch of times if it sucks. All right, here are some jokes aimed at millennials. Millennials are so broke that when they hear the phrase 3% mortgage rates, they think it's the interest they get on their savings account. All right. Number two, the only way millennials can afford a 7% mortgage rate is if they pool their money together with all their friends and start a commune. That's not funny, ChatGPT. That's rude. Oh, here we go. Number three, millennials are already struggling with avocado toast and rent payments. The thought of a 7% mortgage rate is enough to make them switch to ramen noodles and sleeping in their cars. ChatGPT, that's not okay. You can't talk about them sleeping in cars. Number four, if you want to see millennials' eyes widen with fear, just mention the words adjustable rate mortgage. It's like telling them they have to start paying for their own Netflix subscription. That's a good one. That's funny. If you want to see a millennial cry, just remind them that their parents bought a house with a 3% mortgage rate and they're stuck with a 7% rate. It's like the ultimate okay boomer moment. Interesting. I don't know if they're funny or not, but I'm going to ask them to write more jokes. I want to stay in that Daily Show with Jon Stewart style, but aim the jokes at baby boomers. All right, let's see the difference. I'm guessing no avocado toast jokes. Maybe no Netflix subscriptions. Oh, there is an avocado toast joke. All right, here's number one. So baby boomers are holding on to their 7% interest rates like they're precious jewels. What's next? Burying them in the backyard like a time capsule. Good luck finding them when you need them, buried under a pile of avocado toast. What the heck? All right, here's number two. Baby boomers are really worried about losing their 7% interest rates. They act like they're trying to hold on to their fountain of youth. Newsflash, boomers, you're not getting any younger and your interest rates aren't getting any higher. What the heck, ChatGPT? That doesn't make sense. All right, here's number three. It's amazing how baby boomers are willing to cling to their 7% interest rates, but can't seem to hold on to their hair. Maybe they should start investing in Rogaine instead of real estate. Ouch, baby boomers. That's ChatGPT, not me, for the record. That's ChatGPT writing a joke based on this article. Number four, baby boomers are like squirrels hoarding nuts for winter, except their nuts are 7% interest rates and their winter is retirement. Sorry to break it to you, boomers, but retirement doesn't come with a guaranteed interest rate. I don't think that's very funny, ChatGPT. That might be a little bit hurtful for some of the boomers out there. Sorry, boomers. It's not me, it's ChatGPT. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, the last one. Baby boomers are acting like they're on the Titanic, holding on to their 7% interest rates like it's the last lifeboat. Newsflash, boomers, the ship has already sunk and your interest rates are just a fancy desk or deck chair. What the heck? That's ridiculous. That's some silly stuff there. All right. Well, I thought you might enjoy that. It's definitely an interesting little joke. Definitely interesting experiment to ask ChatGPT anything, but to ask them to write jokes on a real estate article is kind of fun. The reality is it's kind of wild out there. The lock-in effect is definitely real. There are lots of people who have locked in below 3% or at 3%, and it's going to create an issue with inventory for many years, especially if you're a hedge fund manager. Not funny, ChatGPT. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed it. Have a good rest of your day. And as always, I'll be here if you need me. Bye-bye.